Hey, this is John.
Colt here from Rocker Register Star. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. How are you doing?
Good. It's good to talk to you.
Yeah, likewise. Thanks so much for doing this, and I hope it goes well. Thanks so much.
Yeah. So, let me see. Why don't you tell me a little about yourself and why you're running?
Yeah, sure. Name is John Kitover. I live in the northwest side of Chicago. I've been involved in and interested in politics really since Ron Paul. Fiscal conservatism is a big interest of mine. I feel like the financial path and the decisions that we're making are very irresponsible. Um, I've worked in digital marketing for about 15 years with Microsoft, Google, a couple other corporations, and I served in the Army from 2002 to 2006. I'm a graduate of Niles West High School in Skokie, Illinois, and I'm a graduate of the Citadel in Charleston, South Carolina, where I have an undergrad in business administration.
Are you in the district? You live in the district?
No, I'm not in the district. I live in the northwest side of Chicago. The 16th district is Rockford, Peoria, Bloomington, 20 other towns, goes from the north to the south. People might call me a carpetbagger, but I would call myself a can crusher because Darren LaHood just keeps kicking the debt can down the road.
Um, so would you move to the district if you were elected, or?
I would. I probably would move to Rockford so I could be with the constituents, hear their concerns, address their concerns, and do as much for them as I could.
And I guess it must not be a requirement to live in the district to run for this seat.
No, it's not. I mean, you just have to be an Illinois resident, to run. So it's not limited. Anybody can run for any congressional district in Illinois, and in the constituents in Rockford, Peoria, on all of Darren LaHood's comments, are saying you've done nothing for us. So it really doesn't matter whether you live in the district or not. It's what you're doing for your constituents and what you're doing for the country. It's kind of irrelevant where you live when you run for Congress because it's a federal position, national.
So, do you still work for the Department of Commerce?
No, I worked for the Department of Commerce, and then I worked for IRS doing facilities management, leasing and operations. May was my last month with the Treasury Department, and I'm running full time for Congress now to defeat Darren LaHood.
Um, um, what do you mean by carpetbagger in this worker case?
Just with regards to that initial question that everybody asks, you don't live in the district. Why are you running in a district you don't
Oh,
live in?
okay. I see.
Yeah,
Um,
it's a pejorative, but really, again, like I said, I'm trying to crush Darren LaHood's debt can, which he keeps kicking. He's been in office 10 years. He signed an agreement for term limits to not seek more than 3 terms, and he's approaching his 6th term. So he's in violation of his pledge not to seek more than 3 terms with with a nonprofit organization in D.C. And I also signed the same agreement.
um, so his well, this debt issue, isn't that really following the Donald Trump's agenda? Isn't that in support of Donald Trump's agenda?
Absolutely. Donald Trump, in my opinion, has pulled the rug over our eyes and has pulled a fast one on us. He's no Ron Paul. He's a big spender. During his first administration, he added trillions of dollars in debt, and in the second administration, he's going to add even more. So it is Trump's responsibility as president, in my opinion, to be fiscally conservative and to give us a balanced budget act, which he hasn't done. So I've used AI to draft two bills, which I'd like to submit if I get elected. One would be defunding the big beautiful bill, and the second would be a balanced budget act.
Um, what are the base? Well, it sounds to me like your biggest issue sounds like the budget.
Absolutely. It's causing a lot of the problems that we have. In my opinion, the two biggest problems in our society are big pharma and the military industrial complex. And without big budgets, we can't fund any of that. So I think if we were to, uh, pull in our belts and be fiscally conservative, we would eliminate a lot of the problems that we're causing ourselves and causing the world.
Uh, yeah, I don't really understand the big pharma part of that one.
Well, I mean, you've heard of COVID-19 and the vaccine rollout. So that's part of the problem. Is Darren LaHood voted on the HEROES Act, the CARES Act, and these are multi-trillion-dollar bills that funded big pharma, Operation Warp Speed. And it's my opinion that the COVID-19 vaccines were unnecessary.
No, unnecessary. Well, tell me more about that.
Well, Dr. Fauci, Bill Gates, the World Health Organization, the Wuhan lab, and the Operation Warp Speed rollout. I've seen documentation from the Bush administration suggesting that this pandemic, scamdemic was in the works all the way back to when George Bush was president, because big pharma is a huge component of the global economy. But basically, the adverse reactions from COVID 19 vaccines, especially with young men and myocarditis, and forcing them to take it, whether you're in the military or in college, is a strict violation of our Constitution. It's immoral, it's unethical, it's unscientific. Robert F. Kennedy, the HHS secretary and head of CDC as HHS, he just got grilled by Senate Democrats who really, in my opinion, aren't interested in the science. Vaccines don't do placebo research, so there's no standard of science. It's, in my opinion, it's highly unregulated, it's unnecessary, and the health outcomes from taking the COVID-19 vaccines versus herd immunity, the science is just not there.
Um, so, what so as far as LaHood goes, he's supported you know increased debt. What other issues do you have with his leadership?
Well, one is the Second Amendment. He wants to raise the minimum age to purchase a firearm. And unless he's willing to have a constitutional convention, it's a strict violation of our Constitution. We need firearms to protect to save ourselves for security reasons individually, but also at the national level. Without firearms, we wouldn't be a free country. We wouldn't have been able to defeat the King of England. So it is possible that the United States government could slip into a tyrannical corporate fascist state, and we will need our firearms to defend ourselves. Now, that may be hyperbolic and controversial, but that is, in my opinion, the founder's intent with regards to the Second Amendment. And he has backed off of that position. That's one issue. The second issue is Jeffrey Epstein and him not wanting to sign the discharge petition that Thomas Massey has put forth before Congress and Speaker Johnson. So he, in my opinion, he sneaks under the radar, and there's multiple issues that need to be dealt with that I know the constituents in the 16th district are not happy with. When I was getting petition signatures in Bloomington this past weekend, all I had to say was, "I'm I need 10 seconds of your time. I need you to sign this petition. We're trying to get rid of Darren LaHood." As soon as I say Darren LaHood, people grab that clipboard so fast and can't wait to sign. So there are a lot of disgruntled voters in the 16th district that are not happy with Darren LaHood.
Just one question following up on that. I mean, raising the age at which you can buy a firearm doesn't take away the right to own firearms for everyone else. I mean, you made it sound like the measure would eliminate the right to bear arms.
No, he wants to just raise the minimum age. And I got to say, if you're an 18-year-old in a very dangerous area, let's say of Chicago, I think you absolutely should have the right to be able to defend yourself to the death if you're going to get killed by some gangbanger with a gun. But since you can't get a gun because now the minimum age is 26 or 25, and it's no longer the age of a legal consenting adult, that's a problem. And plus, it violates our Constitution. So unless he's willing to hold a constitutional convention to raise the minimum age, you can't do it. It's unconstitutional. It won't hold up in court, in my opinion.
I guess another big issue has been tariffs. And what will be your position as far as tariffs goes if you're elected?
I don't think tariffs are good for the economy because those prices get passed down to consumers. But from a strategic business standpoint, let's say, for example, China is importing or India is importing electric vehicles into our country, but we don't have the opportunity to export our vehicles into their country, or financial services, or our food products, or any business product or service that we take in but we can't export. I think tariffs should be used strategically to negotiate fair trade and free trade.
Yeah. Uh, do you view them as kind of a tax on, American consumers?
I think most likely it is an attack on American consumers and will contribute to inflation. However, the world has been riding our back for decades. We are a host, and the rest of the world has been acting as parasites with no reciprocation. So until we get reciprocity, I say tariff until we can strategically force a negotiation, and that's the power of a tariff. It's in the Constitution, and it's within Trump's right to do this, and the Supreme Court has upheld it. So to me, it's really a non-issue. I feel like the left makes it an issue because they don't really have a whole lot of other issues to attack Trump and Republicans on. But from an economic standpoint, it raises prices. It's not good for our economy. It's not good for the global economy. Free trade is the best way to grow economies and to increase GDP.
So kind of mixed there. You talk about free trade, but also supported tariffs. I guess you're saying use tariffs in a more strategic way.
Absolutely. It has to be done strategically with a business outcome and a goal in mind, not just punitive measures because they're not doing our bidding overseas. We spend 70 billion a year, or 1% of all of our annual budget, on foreign influence peddling. So that should be enough to get done what we want done. I don't even think tariffs are necessary, to tell you the truth. But from a strategic standpoint, it's useful, it's necessary, it's helpful. But again, we've been getting taken for a ride by the world by not having tariffs in the first place. It's insane. We tax ourselves to death, and we can't do business in foreign countries like China or India or other places, but yet they can do business here in many ways. So it's just unfair, and it goes back to strategy.
So, uh, how is the campaign going? Do you think you have a shot of unseating the hood?
Based off of my first petition gathering and signatures in Bloomington, I'm very optimistic just because of the dissent and pessimistic view of Darren LaHood by many voters. So I am very optimistic that there's a chance here.
So you just started collecting signatures recently?
Correct. We just started
Okay.
gathering. I've been recruiting people off of Craigslist for Bloomington, for Rockford, for Peoria. And the best place I found to get signatures in mass is at football games, at tailgates. It's a perfect place, and I'm absolutely confident that we're going to get the minimum number of signatures to qualify, and it's about 700 signatures, and we have to turn them in probably by October 27th, and it's a March 17th primary.
Okay, yeah. I was just wondering about that. How long do you have to get it done?
We've got about 45 more days.
Yeah.
So yeah, about 20 signatures a day is all it's going to take. So I'm not stressed about it or worried about it.
Yeah. So you're a veteran.
I am. I served in the Army National Guard from 2002 to 2006. I went to the Citadel, the Military College of South Carolina, and I was commissioned in Army intelligence. And prior to that, I was in the infantry with what they called the simultaneous membership program. So I was in the reserves while I was in college, and it was really all because of 9/11 that I decided to join when I saw the first and second, or when I saw the second plane go into the second World Tower in New York.
Yeah. So you were in the reserves in college, and then the Army National Guard.
Correct. I was in the South Carolina National Guard and the
Oh,
Illinois National Guard.
okay, okay.
I do have a
And
nice letter from Governor Rod Blagojevich when my time was up. That was the a nice letter from Rod. I want to
nice.
frame it.
Um, oh, so you're no longer in the National Guard.
No, no.
Okay,
2006 was my last year.
gotcha, gotcha. Okay, so what was another thing? Oh, I also saw someplace you had some thoughts on agricultural support for farmers. Can you tell me more about that? I read that someplace that I don't know if you wanted to cut back on our support for farmers, or I didn't completely understand.
So when I was in Bloomington gathering signatures, a young girl who signed my petition, she said she works with 45,000 soybean farmers. I don't know if it's all in Illinois, but it could be regional. But it's a huge employment factor, a huge economic factor. I think supporting farmers and agriculture is necessary, but you could also do that through tariffs. But we are $37 trillion in debt, in funded debt, and 100 trillion in unfunded debt liabilities. To continue to subsidize farmers at scale without reducing at least 5%, I think is unethical, unfair. And I don't go to work 5 days a week. You don't go to work 5 days a week to subsidize farmers. They go to work to earn a profit. If they can't earn a profit, a lot of the problem is probably the government. So I don't know if you know who Alan Watts is. He's a philosopher, but he says he has a friend who's a beet farmer, and the government says, "Hey, here's 100 pages I need you to fill out." The beet farmer says, "I don't have enough time to fill this paperwork out. You fill it out." So government overreach, government regulations, and compliance factors are a big issue on why farmers and a lot of times can't turn a profit. If you go to your local grocery store and you look at the fruit and the produce and the vegetables, most of that is not grown in the United States. It's shipped in from Guatemala, Honduras, Nicaragua, South America, Central America. So if we want to be self-sustainable with our food reserves and our food supply and our food production, we should encourage that, and we shouldn't discourage it. And if that means subsidies, that's okay. But I'm just saying that we have to be pragmatic and practical about our spending and set priorities. I would say that food is definitely a priority. So if we were to optimize our spend, I would definitely keep a focus on farmers and possible subsidies, or possibly not just subsidies, but encouragement to grow, not subsidies not to grow. I think that could also be a major factor that a lot of farmers are getting away with, which is they're being paid not to grow as opposed to grow.
Um, what else should I have asked you, but I have not?
I really think, the Balanced Budget Act is something that should be thoroughly explored and understood by all constituents in the 16th district. That every year the government is borrowing $15,000 for you that you're not voting for. These college students that I met with in Bloomington this weekend. Hold on one sec. Sorry, the college students, they're taking out $60,000 loans to get an undergrad degree, and the government is also taking out ten to $15,000 in loans on their behalf. So if they come out with $100,000 in debt, their real debt number is 140,000 plus factor in the inflation rates. So we have to optimize our spend. I don't want to shut down this engine. I just want to optimize the fluids, the oil that we're using, and prioritize our spend for we the people. A question that I think maybe might be relevant is really just, I don't know. I mean, I just constantly go back to a balanced budget act being a major priority as a congressional candidate. Um, you know, you could ask, I guess, is Darren LaHood really a Republican, or is he pretending to be? Is his father Ray LaHood, who worked for Obama as the transportation secretary? Why did he have $50,000 in cash that some Nigerian scammer gave him? Why did the FBI take Darren LaHood's laptop and do an investigation on him? Was it political or was it potentially criminal? I mean, you could ask a lot of questions to me. Whatever's on your mind, I'm willing to discuss.
I was just giving you a chance to comment on anything else that you wanted to comment on.
Really, to me, one of the big issues is the Jeffrey Epstein discharge petition for the Epstein Transparency Act. Thomas Massey, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Ro Khanna, congressman from California, recently held a press conference with Epstein victims. Did you happen to see it?
I did not watch it, but I heard about it.
So, until you actually hear the voices of these victims and how Epstein and Ghislaine and the other perpetrators who are unknown or who have yet to be unmasked, if until you hear the stories of those women, you can't really understand the absolute diabolical insanity and sexual predation of Epstein and why Congress is withholding Epstein files and has not unredacted those files is beyond me. I mean, I want to see justice for the victims and I want to see the worst perpetrators be charged. I don't know if we'll ever see that because it's possible Bill Gates is in that list, and Trump just had dinner with Bill Gates and just had a private meeting with Bill Gates. So I just say that these victims should get justice, and unfortunately, Darren LaHood is not signing the discharge petition to force Speaker Johnson to essentially pass this Epstein Transparency Act.
Yeah. Yeah. It seems like Donald Trump is the reason why it hasn't been released, isn't it?
I don't think it's just Trump. I think it's Speaker Johnson, and I think it's all the billionaires who are fighting it. Thomas Massey, who's running for reelection in Kentucky, John Paulson, a multi-billionaire, is funding millions of dollars in attack ads against Massey. It probably won't work because his constituents know him. They look at his X account. They know he's fully transparent. He's extremely intelligent, and he's putting up forth legislation all the time to essentially counteract the deep state and big spending. So I don't think it's just Trump, but obviously, if Trump is in those files, he wouldn't want them released. But you can't really speculate on what you don't know in those files because everything has been sealed.
Yeah, absolutely. How old are you?
I'm 42 years old.
42. And are you married? Do you have a family?
No, I'm not married. I have no kids. I'm single. I'm dating. I wouldn't, call myself a bachelor, but I guess I am a bachelor. But I'm single, and hopefully this campaign will lead to a beautiful relationship as well.
Well, okay.
Most girls don't. Most girls don't want to date me until I have the seat, though. Unfortunately, that's some feedback I've heard.
Until you have the what?
Until I have Darren LaHood's seat in the 16th district. Just running as a candidate isn't attractive enough, apparently.
Okay. Well, thanks so much for talking to me, John. I appreciate it. Good luck in the election. I think the story will be fine.
Okay, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. If you want to do a video or a Zoom or have any other questions, please just email or call me.
Yeah,
and
I'll follow up. If I have any follow-up questions, I'll text you or give you a call.
Okay, thank you so much. God bless and have a great day. I really appreciate it.
All right, John. Take it easy.
Okay, thanks, sir. Thanks, Jeff. Bye.